exactly know what the job is that I have now when I was in high school, or when I was in college, even really. I like found out there. Didn't know much about VC, didn't know much about startups. Didn't think that was, I grew up with two lawyers for parents. So I was like, oh, everyone's a lawyer. That's pretty much it. I decided maybe when I was 16 that I was really, really interested in water and all aspects of water, like how people access it, why they want it, how it's distributed between countries, communities, individuals, whatever, right? Water was like my area of interest. So I came to school and I sort of took what was available for me there and sort of tailored it to my interests, right? So I studied political science, which is not like really what brings somebody to a career in venture capital and startups. But I was focused on water and a lot of my research and a lot of my curriculum and a lot of the projects that I did and a lot of the professors that I talked to. I took that and realized that I was interested with water between countries and then went and did a master's in international affairs with human rights policy. And even there, still focused on water. So it's not always like, the straightforward path to getting where you want to go. Imagine that someone like Mary is like a water entrepreneur. She has this like crazy idea that you can turn air into water. So say that Mary starts a company. What Mary would do after that company is like a little bit more developed, like for example, they're an official company legally, and they've raised some money and they have some sort of like test to show that their technology is real and that it works, that she can in fact turn air into water. Mary comes to us. And we help her basically get set up with all of the connections and all of the money that she needs to like really make her company thrive and to, in the long term, help people who otherwise wouldn't have access to water get access to water. So that's what we do. What I do day to day, it really just depends. I work a lot with entrepreneurs. So I work a lot with people like Mary in this example, just answering their questions, giving them connections to people that they want to meet in the city or around the world. We have offices in San Francisco and in Singapore. So we're kind of a really worldwide organization. I work sometimes to help sort of procure like funding opportunities for companies. So if they want maybe like $100,000 to do something with water in South Africa, for example, I would be the person that they come to kind of like help that get set up and to sort of make that connection for them. And then I also track our impact and our metrics. So basically, just trying to make sure that we actually are doing something positive for the world. We're a social innovation organization, first and foremost. So we are really just trying to get water to people who need it the most. So that's me right now. Before that, I've worked in like a number of roles in the nonprofit industry, Doctors Without Borders, if anyone's familiar. I worked in their Paris office, managed programs in Haiti, Liberia, and Peru, so can talk about that. I really loved that experience. I've worked in water in just so many countries around the world, like Laos, Cambodia, South Africa. Just like really, if you want to talk about having an international career, it's very possible. And it's not something that I thought really would be possible for me when I was in high school and when I was in college. I think one of the really cool things about working in sort of the venture capital and the startup space is very selfishly, you get to see what is new and what's happening and what is like really making a difference right now before like a lot of other people do, right? Because we're making bets on these early stage companies. We don't know if they're going to be successful. We don't really know if their technology is going to do exactly what they say it's going to do. So in order to like take that risk on, you kind of have to also like really believe in what you're doing. So understanding kind of the space and what's happening in water, and it doesn't necessarily have to be water. Venture capital does a lot of really cool stuff. Um, but understanding that and then also getting to kind of like take a little bit of risk in making those choices and just selecting the companies that we support is super cool. And then the last thing that I'll say is just really, I mean, going back to my own personal interest in water and sort of what keeps me professionally motivated is just the idea that at the end of the day, we are really getting water to people of places that need it. We are really making things easier for folks who, like in New York City, like work in the sewers and like detect leaks and who like get the water to your homes, who the people who, got the water into the hands that you're holding right now and into your bottles. So yeah, it's just really cool to think that you play like a really small role in something that's really important and touches everyone's lives and different ways.